How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The money supply is flipping. The Treasury is printing money like mad, and we have M2 moving up recently. I want to go through this. Also, some big news that's happened in the market here today for Bitcoin and for the broader market. Trump also just announced that he is going to start with tariffs, or the U.S. is going to start 25% tariffs on Canada and on Mexico. Okay, let's talk about all this. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. Also, if you want to trade crypto, there's a link underneath the video to WEEX. I really like using WEEX. You can see that I have some pretty big trades on WEEX as well. When you use the link underneath the video, you get some pretty sweet deposits, up to 5,000 USDT and lower trading fees when you use that link. It's good for the next week or so. So you might as well try it out, get some lower fees, start trading on the platform without KYC, and you don't need a VPN. So definitely check this out. I really like it. As you can see, Bitcoin right around 105,000. We're at a pretty good spot, right? We're 4% off of all-time highs. I mean, this is like a candle away. The day that we hit all-time highs, we were at 99,700 at one point, and then spiked up over $10,000. That's what's known as a God candle, $10,000 in a day. Now, this was a pretty interesting day. That was inauguration day. A lot of people were betting on the strategic Bitcoin reserve that day. We didn't get it, but they're researching it. So we're basically at the midpoint that we've been at for the last couple of weeks, around 105,000. Now, Trump continues to make more headlines. He's starting the 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, and that's just the start. Apparently, they're also working on a China tariff as well. This will be interesting to see how the market reacts to this, but right now, Bitcoin hasn't done much on this news. It's moved down maybe just a few $100s. By the way, if you want to check out the Patreon, I didn't mention this earlier, but we have limited spots left. We're doing full videos. Joe just published a video today talking about cold storage. We've talked about some of our trades. If you had just done the couple trades that we've made since we started the Patreon, which we don't talk about trades all the time, but you would have had enough money to pay for like 6 months worth of the beginner tier. And also, we talk and answer a lot of questions in there too. That's the main focus, is to answer your questions. Now, let's go with some altcoin news. Before we get to the money supply, before we get to Bitcoin, Grayscale just filed for a Ripple XRP ETF with the New York Stock Exchange. Giga bullish for XRP. Okay, so spot ETFs most likely coming this year for XRP, for Solana, for some of these other altcoins that are a little bit more favored by the SEC, or have already gone through like litigation with SEC. We know that Trump really likes Solana. He dropped his meme coin on Solana. Maybe he has a little bit of pull as well. I would not be surprised to see 3, 4, 5 more cryptocurrencies get spot ETFs this year. One other thing too, I've talked about TARS AI a lot on the channel before, and they're now live on Uphold. They're actually pumping here today. This is AI crypto that I've talked about a handful of times. I do hold some as well, but they're coming to an exchange that a lot of US users can buy from. So yeah, pretty interesting. Now, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin ROI after the halving. This is actually the lowest ROI that we've seen after the halving, post-halving, in the last 4 cycles. Like, yeah, Bitcoin's at new all-time highs, or right near all-time highs, but we're under 2 ROI. Last cycle, we had about a 6, 7x ROI at this point. The cycle before that, we had right around a 2 ROI. The cycle before that, we had a 10. So let's say we just get to the worst performing cycle. Let's say that we do the same as last year. I mean, we're looking at like a 6 or 7x from the halving, which, was that a $400,000 Bitcoin. So the ROI, right? The ROI is lower this cycle so far, even though it seems like we're, so a lot of people are saying we're near an all-time high, or a blow-off top, I should say. Yet we're not even 2x from the halving. Now, of course, we moved a little bit faster to the halving this cycle. Like, we were at all-time highs right around the halving, actually before the halving. So yeah, we might be a little bit left translated, as they say, or we might have gone up a little bit quicker than usual. But since since the halving, it's been pretty tame. Now, what's not tame is the number of states that are announcing strategic Bitcoin reserve bills. Montana just introduced a bill for the strategic Bitcoin reserve. I think that's 15, 16, 17 states now. They're trying to get their hands on Bitcoin. At the same time, we're seeing some interesting things happen. Marty Party just said this: here is what you are not told. The Treasury is printing money like mad. Just today, they announced $241 billion. New money will be printed on February 3rd via the Treasury auction. Quantitative easing is beginning, and Jerome won't tell you until it's too late to enter low. Buy spot crypto and hold. Don't believe me? Can't believe people still doubt my alpha? Go look for yourself at the treasurydirect.gov website. Okay, so the money printer is starting to be turned on. We also have seen M2 money supply start to tick up. Kind of bottomed out in mid-2023, and what do you know? That's when crypto kind of started turning around, and now it's starting to tick up. We're nearing the all-time high for M2. Looks like we might get there in the next few months at this pace. So we're starting to see more liquidity come into the market, looser financial conditions. This means people are going a little bit more risk on. This means that you need a better return. I've talked about this. I actually talked with a really successful real estate investor yesterday. We grabbed a couple beers, and he said, yeah, like he was not levered enough. In real estate, you have to be levered to get decent returns, to be able to outperform, because M2 money supply, monetary debasement, it continues. Significant amounts of monetary debasement happen every single year. We're talking, depending on who you ask, 8 to 15%. So even just buying real estate and seeing it appreciate 4 or 5% and get a little bit of cash flow and get a little bit of a tax write-off. Like, if you're not levered, you're not really outperforming unless you get a really good deal. So even that, like, if you want to keep up with this kind of debasement, this increase in M2 money supply, this treasury printing, you need to be in assets that perform really well. Maybe it's tech stocks that outperform and get a 20% return each year. Maybe it's Bitcoin, which is averaging a 45 to 50%. Maybe it's levered real estate. But Bitcoin is probably the most accessible. At least it's much more accessible than real estate for people because you can buy it with a few dollars. Also, there are no taxes on it. It's got a lower barrier of entry, as I said, and appreciates more than real estate anyways. Also, no maintenance, no work really after you buy it. Obviously, you can also look at tech stocks as well, but they don't typically perform as well as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is being adopted more and more every single year. There are a lot of entities that are trying to buy it, which is why it's appreciating so much. Now, I think Bitcoin's going to do really well. I think there's so many people that are buying right now that are trying to buy that haven't been able to buy yet, that we still have a lot of new money that wants to get in. And what have we seen recently? What has Trump done? Right? He said that he's going to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and then he's been buying hundreds of millions of dollars of crypto, Ethereum, Wrapped Bitcoin, Ondo, Chainlink, Aave, a lot of different altcoins. They're buying, they're creating cryptos. They are launching, different NFTs. They're getting deeper and deeper into crypto. Like, this is the most powerful man in the world that's degenning right now. Like, you can't make this stuff up. At the same time, we're starting to see more money printing. I think we're going to have a very, very good next year. But let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Again, if you want to take full advantage, I actually just made a video on how to not get liquidated, how to reduce your risk. If we are right, and we're right about Bitcoin going up significantly and other cryptos, if you leverage trade and play your cards right, you will make life-changing amounts of money because you can go 2x, 5x, 10x leverage. And if you don't get liquidated, you're going to make insane returns. So if you want to check this out, there's a link to WEEX underneath the video. Of course, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you do your own research. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one.